trailer queue on YouTube.
Oh, and you don't watch the trailers? You just put them in the queue?
I force everyone in the house to watch them. So when we're sitting in front
it's
of the
like
TV,
an
I'm like,
event.
it's trailer time,
I
and
see.
I blast through like 20 trailers.
You literally do what
Trailer time.
You literally do what I
time.
used to do at the movie theater. Like when I was about to watch a movie, I would be like, what do I want to watch? And I make a trailer package of whatever I wanted to watch before the movie. So it'd be like 20 trailers. I'd be watching like 40 minutes of trailers before I even started a movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Hi, and welcome to Real Doofs. I'm Drew.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Laura.
And this is our movie podcast that you all know about because we've been doing it for a while. Brian, Laura, I have a question for you both. Have you ever wondered what it would be like, or have you ever experienced the love for something, a hobby, or anything?
Sorry,
the way that
It's immediate no.
Yeah. The way that a sports fan thinks they're part of a team when they're not.
You know what mine is. And it's a recent acquired hobby.
Oh.
Bingo?
No.
Like old lady bingo?
Go to I'm on a sports team.
Yeah,
My
you're just
duffel
like,
bag of dabbers.
Smoking a huge fat stogie.
You're just like
and smoking, drinking coffee.
When somebody wins, you're just like, I can't believe we didn't get that. Like
the next number is B13, and then Laura's like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah,
fuck off! I can't fucking believe this shit."
I do have a lucky bingo number, but that's besides the point.
Do you bring your own stamper?
Of course.
You have your own stamper.
I don't have. A lot of people have like little Lucky Charms that they'll rub or little things that they'll ding. It's like if it's their number. I don't have one of those.
Okay.
That's a next level up that I'm not quite there yet. But
I got sick the one time I went to go to like a real bingo thing because I was.
What do you
It
mean
was
you
like
got
a
sick.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened.
There was
all these people.
it was so much smoke. It was everyone.
Oh,
yeah.
you can't
Like-
smoke in there anymore. It's not smoking.
That sounds
Thank
great because
God,
I went to a casino and I was underage, so the only thing I could do was go to bingo. That was the only thing you're allowed to do. So I went, and it was me, and then everyone in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah, and Laura.
Just your mic went out, Brian.
There's like cigars and cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
so
what was your thing? I'm sorry.
I am going to get really passionate about bingo though now. No, Taylor Swift.
Okay, that's new.
It's I actually hated her for like when she
God.
first came out.
How
Was
dare
not a
you.
fan at all. And
But now
then-
Taylor's been showing up to all your bingo games.
and I-
Supporting you.
Reputation album started to really like her, and then when I went to the concert this year, I turned into complete
Swiftie.
fucking annoying Swiftie. Yeah,
I love it.
I hate to say it, but she's like my sports team. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kind of bummed I didn't go to the theaters to see see it.
It's so freaking good, Drew. You
It's
have to go.
supposedly it's going. I don't know if it's playing anymore. And it was only supposed to be 4 weekends. But supposedly it's
good.
going to Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like Prime already has it on there. On like if you look it up, it's already like listed. So that's good.
What was the question?
Oh, have you ever loved anything as much as someone?
I was like, wait, did I answer that appropriately?
You did, yeah. No, I
okay.
mean,
What about you? What about Brian? Do you have anything that?
I think the closest, like in terms of like that much dedication is probably there's a band called Copeland, and I have a tattoo.
Oh yes.
There's on my arm, and I've been to like more of their shows than anyone else. Like I saw them on their farewell tour in 2010, and then they came back, and I've been to like nearly every tour that they've done since they came back in like 2015. And for my bachelor party, we actually went down to Tennessee and we saw them play in a cave.
I remember
Oh, yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I've like
Cave.
met them several times, and then
Very cool.
and we danced to their song at like my wedding and stuff.
I love
Like,
that.
2 of their songs. There was someone who played their song during our ceremony, and then our final dance at the end of the night was a Copeland track. Yeah.
So music too. I feel like that makes sense. That like musicians, bands, you can get on a big bandwagon. I used to be like that with Dave Matthews too. Like I was a super fan.
Are you sliding out of that now? Because like you even went to see Dave. Like, didn't you see him twice this year?
I'm going next week. Yeah. So, but I'm not. It's not as hardcore as it was in like high school, college. But
yeah, in your 20s, you're saying it was easier
yeah,
in your 20s.
I'm old now. What about you, Drew? Do you have a hobby that
No. Nope.
I think like movies might be
I was
just
gonna
the
say,
category of movies in general.
Movies in general, yeah. I feel like no one knows as much about movies
as like, Richard Lewis.
Richard Lewis, and then you.
And then me. Nah, I don't know if that's. I appreciate that, but I agree.
But you're also aware of them. Like I was like, oh, a trailer just dropped, and you're like, yes, I've already seen it, and you probably knew it was going to drop today, and you probably knew more about that movie.
See, so that's like knowing when your sports team's going to play next. So
yeah, exactly.
Right, I'm like, when's the Nolan team gonna be up again? Like, no.
When's Cameron coming back out to play?
Oh God, I'm like, when are we? Yeah, it's like when your team has like a nemesis or an enemy, like the team they're always
a rival. Are you trying to get a rival?
Yeah, I was very much trying to get rival out.
Coming from three people that don't watch sports, we're talking about sports.
An enemy, a nemesis, and like Laura's literally looking at me like, you fucking idiot. It's rival. Yes, that's true. Rival. Yeah, thank you. I was trying to get that out very badly. Thank you, Laura.
We got you. See, you're talking in movie terms, so yeah.
That's true. But yeah, that was just my preemptive question before we went anywhere.
Before Brian gives us a would you rather?
Yes, I'm excited to hear this because
we're bringing it back. It's been a while. Yeah.
I was I don't know. I don't think I've ever done one. I don't know if I'm at Joe level, but I was thinking about holidays because we're getting close to some holidays that we celebrate. And I was wondering if you would rather be stuck in a Groundhog Day situation where you have to repeat the same day over and over again on Thanksgiving or Christmas. If you had to be stuck
hate that you have to do it in general. I thought there was going to be another option, and that was going to be my choice.
No, if you had to pick between the two Groundhog Days, would you rather your Groundhog Day be Christmas or Thanksgiving?
That's so tough.
It is really hard.
I think I would have to go. I really like the food on Thanksgiving, so that's where my problem is. You know that I like food, but then Christmas, I go to like 3 different places, so I would get to see everybody, like family, and then friends. So I think I would have to go with Christmas for that. Thanksgiving's more of a like eat, watch football, and take a nap.
Yeah.
But that might be good if you do that every day. I don't know. That's really tough.
So I like Christmas better in general, like just, with a young child and all this stuff. So I'm going to say Thanksgiving. And my reason being is that, hear me out. If I'm in a Groundhog Day situation, when I kick that habit, I'm never going to want to experience that day again. Ever.
Oh, see, I was thinking there's no way out of that. Like, it's just the rest of your life.
No, like if Groundhog Day happens, like, and I figure out why I'm in it and I kick that day, fuck that day. Never want to see it again. Ever in my life. Never going to want to. I'm going to literally skip that day. When it comes around the next year, I'm going to be like, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to stay awake 24 fucking hours because I'm not going to slip back in to Groundhog Day. So yeah, I'm going to go with the holiday I would rather give away and never celebrate or think about again.
Now I'm thinking, would I have to open my presents every time and have to be surprised every time?
Well, obviously your mental health is going to be a factor in there, and you're going to be like
this fucking t-shirt again.
You're going to be like, you're going to pick it up and you're like, cool, a fucking t-shirt. And they're going to be like, how did you know the t-shirt? And then you're going to even say, how did you know the t-shirt? Because you've heard it 100 times. Like, there's a theory, isn't there? Or they said that Bill Murray's character in Groundhog Day was like, it was like 1,000 years or something like that went by.
I thought it was 10,000 years.
Or yeah, like that's the saying.
How many times
he relived it so long.
How do you not just like
kill yourself?
Yeah.
He tried.
I haven't seen the movie, so. Oh, you both just looked at me like Drew looks frozen.
I don't want to say anything more about the movie now.
Yeah, maybe we should switch to watching Groundhog Day. I agree with Drew, but for a different reason. No, I'm sorry. I'd swap it. I would definitely do Christmas over and over again, but that's because my Christmases are rather chill. We just like kind of hang out all day, eat some junk food and some snacks, watch some movies and stuff. I could probably convince people to watch different movies, so we could just watch a bunch of movies forever for 10,000 years. But on
you would murder everyone by the end, Brian. You would kill every single person you met in a day by the end. By year 100, there would not be anyone alive left.
But the best part of Thanksgiving,
and not because you're annoyed, because you're finding new things to do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Probably. But I think that the best part of Thanksgiving is like the next day, like the leftovers and everything.
Yes.
So 10,000 years of being like teased of not getting the next day of it. Yeah. Like I like the food is great and all, but Thanksgiving is work. It's like cooking and cleaning and loud, big family. And then like you're exhausted and you're hungover and like, the next day, when you actually are like a little bit hungover, and then you're eating the Thanksgiving sandwich and you're microwaving some leftovers, that's the experience. So not getting that for 10,000 years, I would rather just do Christmas over and over and over again.
And now I'm also thinking Christmas, I could just be like, I'm sick today, I can't go anywhere, and then everyone goes their own way, and I can just stay home and watch TV all day.
For sure.
So that sounds great to me. I guess I could do that on either holiday, but.
That's true.
Good question.
That's it. That's all I had.
Good question.
I like it.
I was trying to think of a
see how much we love our family in the holidays. How can we not spend time with them every day
for 10,000 years?
Oh, I love it. Well, speaking of family, today we're switching things up. We're watching Fast and the Furious 1.
I was just gonna say.
I want to see the space one.
Yeah. Actually, we are going to be watching, this is November is our month of feel good movies. So we dropped our first one and now we're watching our next one for the month. And that is going to be Good Will Hunting. So I'm excited about this one because Brian, you have not seen it. I'm sure you know some basics. Laura, you have seen it, but it's been a very long time. So
I don't even know if I've seen the whole thing. I may have only seen half. Yeah.
You will definitely remember some stuff, but probably not everything.
No. And this was years ago, like a long time ago.
Yeah, this came out in 1997.
Wow.
I remember 97 means I was 12 years old. So I remember being with a friend of mine, and our friend's mom was driving us to the movies, and we wanted to see a movie called Desperate Measures that was out. It was Andy Garcia and Michael Keaton, maybe. I can't remember if it was Keaton or not, but it was Andy Garcia was definitely in this movie. And it was like a thriller. And we were telling the mom, we were like, hey, we want to see this movie. In the town that we're in here, there used to be this small 8-plex movie theater in the center. Like it was in not a mall. It was in a strip mall, but it was a standalone building.
I
it's called
that movie theater.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 12.
You used to like walk down into it. Almost,
yes, it was
like
old school, no stadium seats. Yeah. So I was 12 years old in 97.
This movie does not look like a movie that like
I should be seeing at that age.
That you'd want to see.
No.
Well, this is I think where the story's going. He went to go see Desperate Measures.
Yeah. So, Desperate Measures. You're looking that one up. That's a thriller, right? We're talking. Is it Keaton or is it? But it is Garcia.
Keaton.
Yes, Keaton and Garcia. Yeah, it's like a. I don't know if it's a hostage movie or I don't know, but we wanted to see it. Never saw it, so I have no idea what happens in the movie. Maybe it is boring as shit. Because we asked my friend's mom, the thing about this movie theater was they would let anybody into any movie regardless of age, as long as a parent said, yeah, they can go see that R-rated movie. So we were banking on her saying, yeah, they can see that R-rated movie. And she got there. She's like, wait, you want to see that? No, you're going to go see Good Will Hunting. And we were like, fuck is this shit? And then we sat in it and I was like, holy shit, this was a fucking awesome movie. Really stoked that she told us we were going to see that and not fucking Goodwill or not Desperate Measures. So Good Will Hunting came out in 1997. It was directed by Gus Van Sant. So Gus Van Sant is a popular, very independent director. He's done a couple of things prior to Good Will Hunting, but this is the movie that kind of got him into a higher level. So his biggest movie was called Drugstore Cowboy. But he also did one with he did a movie with, what
name is that?
It's I don't know, but he did a movie also with Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix, I believe, as well. Prior to that, I think it was Gus Van Sant, but Drugstore Cowboy was his like bigger movie. And then he made this, and then immediately after the success from this, he made a shot-for-shot remake of Psycho, of like I'm talking a shot-for-shot remake.
Is that the one with
Vince Vaughn as the bad guy? Yes, Vince Vaughn, not Hugo. Why do I keep wanting to say Hugo Weaving? Viggo Mortensen was in it. Anne Heche, Julianne Moore. Wild, because everyone saw the movie because they were like, he's remaking Psycho. It's going to be cool. And they were like, why did he really literally make an identical copy? There's no new ideas to this movie or anything. So he was criticized for it and he was like, how do you change Psycho? It's a classic. You're like, yeah, why remake it then? So anyway, but he also made a movie, with one of Sean Connery's last movies. I think was it something dog? No, not dogs. Yeah, good thing I can't. That's not part of our 6 degrees because I have no fucking clue what it's called.
Maybe it will be. No.
Yeah, right. But Sean Connery was in this other movie, but he went back to making more independent films after. But Good Will Hunting is actually the IMDb top 250. It's number 82 on the top 250.
Wow.
So
we need to start keeping track of the ones that we've watched off that list, because I feel like we've been knocking off a lot lately.
We have recently hit a few off that list. I mean, when we hit things that are like classics and things like that, you tend to notice them on there. So I'm going to ask just right now. We'll start it off with the questions. Where and when do you think this movie takes place?
And Brian, I'm going to let you take the lead on most questions because I do know this.
Okay.
Where and when? I think it takes place present day to like when the movie was coming out. So I think it's in the 90s.
Yep.
And I think it's Boston.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to tell you you're right.
Okay. I was going to say I agree with both of those things.
Yes. So it is during the release time, and it is a Boston film, or a film that takes place in Boston. Who is in the movie? Who do you know is in this movie?
I know for sure that Matt Damon is in this movie.
Okay.
That's it.
Really? That's all you know.
I think Ben Affleck is in it.
Okay, cool. Nice.
As well. I think this is I think this is one that did they like write this together or something?
Yes. Okay. They did. They wrote this movie. It started off very differently. But,
I want you to guess one more person. I feel like you would know it.
Robin Williams is in this
one too.
Yes. Yes.
Because I think I made a joke about this movie when Laura was making guesses for Dead Poets Society.
You might have.
Probably. We probably crossed over a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
I don't know anyone else that's in it. I know that there's 2 like female characters that are around the age of Ben and Matt in this movie, but I know I will know who they are when I see their faces, but I can't remember who they are.
Interesting.
No.
Okay.
I think that's correct. Maybe.
I will just say 2 notable females.
Yeah. Maybe not notable, but like you've seen them and stuff.
Yeah,
I guess that makes them notable.
Yeah. And you're sure it's 2, it's not 3. It's not 1. 2 is your number.
Oh, maybe it's 3.
Or 3.
There's 2, but then there's another one that's like a bartender, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So 3.
I could just be mixing tons of other movies together.
Since
but that's
in
all
Boston. Are we gonna get like a Cheers crossover?
No, no Cheers cross. Well, let's jump into what the movie's about, and you can tell me if there's. I'll write that in there. Cheers crossover.
I just can't wait to hear the Boston accents. I can't remember, but I'm assuming we got some thick Matt Damon and Ben Affleck Boston accents.
Before you tell me what the movie's about, then let me just go to my very next question. How big will the Boston accents be? That's literally my question.
How big?
How big are these Boston accents going to be?
I think they're going to be pretty sizable.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. Sizable. I like it. Okay. So what is this movie about? Brian, you start us off on this.
I think Robin Williams is a teacher.
Ooh, again?
Again, I think he's a teacher.
Okay. Teacher of what?
Math.
Okay.
He did English in the last one, so he's doing math.
Makes sense. What level? What grade level?
Guys, switch it up.
Big math. College math.
College math. Okay. Okay.
Is there a big priest in this one too?
I think Ben is a student in class. I think this is like a rich school. Like I think this might actually be Harvard. I'm sorry, Harvard.
So Ben Affleck's a student at Harvard.
At Harvard. And he's rich and he's going to school. And Matt Damon is poor. He's not going to school there. But he does janitor stuff. Mm-hmm. And one day he's doing janitor stuff. And he's cleaning this classroom. And it was after one of Robin Williams' big math lessons. Mm-hmm. And no one could solve this math problem on the board. And so just for fun, while he's cleaning the room, he just like solves the math problem with his big Boston brain.
Got it.
And then the teacher comes in the next day and is like, wow, one of these kids fucking solved it. Who is so smart to solve this? Because I'm the smartest person that ever lived. And if someone else solved my math problem, then they've defeated me. And now they're the smartest person who ever lived. And it turns out it's the poor janitor boy, not the rich kid Harvard boy.
Okay.
That's it.
I
That's
don't think we
movie.
need to watch the movie anymore.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And then they all go out for lobster in the back bay.
Park the car.
Park the car.
And park.
Go down to
they
go down to the Green Monster, throw the ball around a little bit.
Okay. Cool. Brian, do you like apples?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. And Laura, do you like apples?
I don't know what that means. I'm
just asking a question. No. Okay. Cool.
I do, but no.
Okay. Thank you. You do, but no. Okay.
Not in this.
Not in this context.
Not the way you asked it.
Got it.
Because I think it's gonna be like, how do you like them apples?
Oh, let me just make
in
a
very
note of
Boston
that.
accent, but I can't do
how
a
do you like
Boston
them
accent
apples?
very well.
Because how?
That's his catchphrase
like,
when he
hey
solves.
Guy, how do you like
problems.
them apples?
Them apples.
Well, because the math problem is like if you're trying to move 300 apples on a train going 30 miles an hour, and he comes in and he solves the math problem. He's like, huh, how do you like them apples?
Like them apples.
It's Boston, baby.
And he throws his mop and he's like, I'm out of here.
Throws his mop. He's like, I'm going to Dunks.
There's a this is a independent film. All right. This is a very independent film. I mean, not like super like a shot on like on a camera, like a iPhone.
But the fact that they like wrote it.
They wrote it. They got it to a studio. $10 million price tag, which is pretty low for a movie like this. Especially 97, you're talking like anywhere like 1 to 10 million, 1 to 15 millions could be like independent movie. Mid range is 20 to like 60 and that, or to 70, I think. And then like any higher, you start getting a big budget. Somebody very famous surprisingly did the score for this movie. Who do you think did the score for this movie? It's a name you absolutely know. So now it's just to think of who does movie scores that I know. This is a score from 97. They've been scoring movies since I think the early 80s, maybe late 80s, but they've definitely been scoring movies since at least the late 80s and still score movies today.
And one that we've watched before?
I know in your lifetime you've heard this person's score many times. You have known their scores from TV, from movies. They have a very particular style. So like sometimes you might just be listening to a score and you're like, that's this person. Like that's this person, definitely.
Huh.
Interesting. Is it, my only guess is Elfman. That would be a very surprising thing for this movie.
To be fair, I will say also the score is not like their typical score in this movie. And, but that's a very good guess.
I don't know a lot of, what would you call them? Like composers or how you?
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, there's a handful, it's like there's John Williams, there's Danny Elfman, there's Hans Zimmer.
I don't know those actually.
You know John Williams. What do you mean you don't know John Williams?
I'm sure if you name the movies, but I don't know them by name.
Jaws,
I don't know why.
Superman.
The first thing that popped into my head
Star
that
Wars,
has nothing to do with this, and I know is wrong, but all I could think of was Tarzan with freaking what's his name, Michael Bolt. Isn't it Michael Bolton?
Well, Phil Collins.
Oh, Phil Collins. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay, got you. That's okay.
That's where my head went.
The Tarzan songs are like.
It's a fucking banger.
Yeah, right?
All of them. So good.
Though I kind of wish that Matt and Trey from South Park won the Oscar that year for Blame Canada, but it's okay. It's okay.
I heard a fun fact that they had like Phil Collins do all the music, and because I think Roseanne Barr voices one of the monkeys.
No idea.
And she was like, I only want to do it if I can sing. And they're like, no. We've hired Phil Collins. He's doing it. And she's like, I have to sing. So they like forced Phil Collins to write a song called Trash in the Camp. And it's just Roseanne Barr being like, I'm trash in the camp. Like 3 minutes. Or she's like scatting or something. She's just like,
I love it.
It's just Roseanne Barr for 3 minutes scatting because she needed to sing in the movie.
That's so great.
I will just tell you now, you are absolutely correct. Danny Elfman actually does the score for this movie.
Fuck yeah.
I thought you were going to say Phil Collins.
No, it would be.
You're absolutely right. Roseanne Barr did that.
You're absolutely right. It was Roseanne. Danny Elfman does the soundtrack to the film. However, or does the score. However, a artist, and I'll tell you afterwards because you would not guess this, but there is a particular artist who contributed almost all the actual songs to the soundtrack prior to his untimely death. So a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe he committed suicide in 2003, and this came out in 97.
Interesting.
So originally, the studio did not want Matt Damon and Ben Affleck to play the lead roles in this, or play roles in this movie, because they were untested at the time. They really had only been in a handful of movies. They wanted bigger names. Who do you think the studio wanted to play the roles of Will and Chucky?
Gotta be Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark and
DiCaprio.
Ooh, that's so good. Okay, Marky.
Because he would have been in.
Think how old would he be?
DiCaprio would have been in Titanic just
at this time.
A couple of years.
This is the same year that Titanic came out. 97.
Oh shit! Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
I thought Titanic was 99 for some reason.
No. In fact, this was the underdog movie that went up against Titanic for the Oscars.
What, 97?
97.
Yeah.
And Leo. Okay, cool. I mentioned the movie cost $10 million. It give me a guess of how much you think it grossed globally? Now, I'm just going to tell you, 97, you're not getting billion-dollar movies until Titanic is like the first billion-dollar movies. You're not getting movies that make much more. You're not getting like 750. You're rarely getting a $500 million movie globally in 97. So just get yourself in the right order, but it's still a high amount of money for a $10 million movie to make.
215 million.
Beautiful.
I was going to say 250.
250. Okay.
But that sounds, I'm going to go 240 actually.
240. Love it. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to give you the answer till after, but you both are incredibly close.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. So
Price is Right rules.
Yeah. Okay. And now, Brian, because Laura doesn't really watch Marvel movies, but I have to ask a Marvel connection. There are 2 actors in this movie who are in specifically the Thor series, but also in other Marvel movies. But both of the actors in this are specifically in Thor movies. Who are the 2 actors? You have named one of them already.
God, it makes me so sad now that there's an alternate reality where Robin Williams was in like stuck around and like was in Marvel movies, and what a fucking any role. I would put him in any fucking role.
I hear you.
I named one of them?
Yes, you only named 3 actors. One of the 3 people you named is in Marvel movies. They don't have a big role. They are in Thor movies specifically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Matt Damon plays plays Loki, right?
Plays Loki
like
as
Loki.
the theater, yes, as a theatrical version of stories that have happened. The reason behind that, by the way, there's a interesting joke in Matt Damon for Kevin Smith in the movie Dogma plays the angel Loki.
Oh,
True.
okay.
I made a note that says Dogma because I wanted to talk about it after the movie.
I love that. Good. We should talk about Dogma.
Yes.
But that's the joke, is that he played Loki in Dogma, and then he played Loki in Thor, in Thor 3 and 4. But again, fake actor Loki. So then there's one other person in this movie who is started off in the Thor movies. I can tell you exactly, was in Thor 1, Thor 2, Avengers 1.
Male or female?
Male.
Okay, then I don't know.
Skarsgård.
Yes. Stellan
Stellan.
Skarsgård. So Stellan Skarsgård is also in this movie.
Is that the brother too?
That is the father of Bill
Okay.
and Alexander.
Okay.
He's got
You'll
such a
see
good
him.
voice.
Yeah, yes. So interesting thing, a little fact before we even start the movie up, because I'm done with questions, but just to let you know, on day 1 of them filming this movie, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were actually like watching the movie happen, and they literally were like crying because they were seeing veteran actors that they know and love, Robin Williams and Stellan Skarsgård, who are legends, saying their words on screen.
That's so cool.
What a really
I didn't know that they wrote this.
Crazy experience. Yes. Wild. And the last thing I'll tell you now, and we won't do the guesses yet, we'll talk about them after, but this movie was nominated for 9 Academy Awards. Wow. 9 fucking Oscar nods for this movie. So when you see it, we'll talk about what you think it is. But other than that, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to solve some math problems?
I was laughing about that our final 2 movies was this and Legally Blonde, then couldn't be further apart in movies. Both feel good movies, but
very different feel good
very
movies.
Different feel good movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think we're ready to...
In Legally Blonde, she doesn't solve a math problem.
No, she solves a court case. No, anyway.
Ready
but
to
we'll
see them apples.
Yes. Yeah, you ready? You all like apples? Well, let's solve some math problems. Apples.
They're just a
So Ben Affleck's the rich one, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that fancy.
I mean, he does have a tracksuit.
Okay, so just look at the car. Want to make sure you know he's the rich one.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. It's a vintage car. Do you see?
Are you sure there is a rich one? Is essentially what I'm wondering.
Yeah, they might both be poor.
Okay. Charged.
Think I'm afraid of you, big fuck? You're crowding the fucking place.
You big fuck.
Yeah.
Casey's bouncing up a bar at Harvard next week. We should go up there.
Oh,
Do up there.
a buy, Harvard.
Tom just wants to be told he's doing a good job. That's what it seems
Exactly. 100%.
I know the girl I was thinking of.
No.
I was thinking of Con Air, the wife that's the bartender. I don't know why. I thought that happened in this movie.
Oh, I love it.
I think this bar scene and like she was in a bar. I don't know.
I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Yeah. Nice job, Laura. Nice job.
I did not remember that at all. I honestly think the part after they caught him in the like writing on the board is where I don't remember anything after that.
Okay.
I don't remember any of the Robin Williams parts at all.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's in this.
He's in this,
Yeah.
isn't he?
It's a definition of if he wanted to, he would. Calling her from jail. Is Robin Williams the therapist?
With any of those conditions, you will have to serve time. All right, I'll do the math, but I'm not going to meet with any fucking therapist.
It's better than spending that time in jail.
I thought he was the teacher the whole time. Okay, I'm really glad that I put down no to watching this because I apparently don't remember anything.
Tom's like, what the fuck?
I've
I don't
wanted
get
to touch
pat-
my head for
No
so
one fucking
long.
touches my goddamn head. I know, right?
Poor Tom's getting replaced right before his eyes.
So this guy,
I read your book.
this is William Golding.
Mike was
The
having the same
William
problem.
Golding's not an actor. He's actually a screenwriter.
Absolutely right. Right on the
He
button.
wrote
You will.
The Princess Bride. He won an Oscar for it. He actually wrote the book too. People think that he did act as a script doctor on this, but he never did. They just got him in to help in the movie.
Okay, you are in your bed.
What a cool therapist.
AKA, he told me I was gay and I couldn't handle it.
God's sake, Will.
What? Oh, come on.
Isn't it the point of a therapist to like work with somebody and not just be like, well, after 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I can't fix you, so bye.
I don't need therapy.
That's enough. Get out.
I called Mel Weintraub this morning to see
Oh,
if he's
what's the
available.
use?
Ew, why do all these girls look like they want him? He's not attractive.
Great thing.
They're all like, ooh, swoon, older
Yeah.
professor.
We'll see Monday.
It's got to be.
We talked about Freud. Why he did enough cocaine to kill a small horse. Thank you. How are you? It's good to see you. Good to see you.
I mean, Stellan Skarsgård is not an unattractive person.
I guess, no, you're correct, but
What's up?
from like seeing him, he gives me the ick of how he's
Yes,
been
fair.
acting with other women, so I guess probably that's why I say that.
Totes. Okay.
I still don't know that if he walked into that room, I'd be like googly eyed.
Fair.
Yeah.
Totes.
Like, oh, a professor's here now.
I was in Paris.
Yeah.
I got your card. It was nice.
I don't know if you noticed, but he said last time I saw you was before Nancy died. So Robin Williams' wife
Robin
has
Williams'
passed
wife
away.
died. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I did not catch that.
You okay, Laura?
Well, damn. There was almost a tear, and then he kind
I
of switched.
saw, I know.
He pivoted, and I was
Yep.
like, "Thank God."
Hey, donkeys. Got some donkeys again. Quarters.
People probably don't know what a 900 number
No.
is. Do you know what a 900 number is, Brian? No. Oh God.
I assume it's like it was like a sex line number. Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pay by the minute, basically.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good podcast about how it all started and how
Really?
much money they made and the downfall of them. It's
Oh, wow.
very interesting. The guy
like
that
that.
started it very smart, made a ton of money.
Nice.
Good for him.
And then the like phone companies
Started taking their part.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Ha.
Oh my god, my dog is winning!
There's fucking dog races in Boston?
I was like, I don't like this at all. I've never seen a dog race from that angle, and I didn't like it. Him and Ben are, they're like actually from Boston, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, there's no way you can fade the Boston accent when he said saw, and he's like, I saw. Like,
Yeah.
you get the R in the
Yeah.
saw.
I've been here for 4 years.
I had a friend in college that was from the Cape, and she had that like drawer instead of
Yeah.
drawer.
Shut up, Tom.
Tom, shut the fuck up.
I appreciate what he's doing. Because I've seen how much he enjoys working.
How old is Tom supposed to be? Also,
It's probably like supposed to be like 25.
he looks 35.
Yeah.
Hello, Will. Tom, could you get us some coffee?
Oh, fucking. Tom's gonna go cry in the bathroom.
He has been every day.
Look at that computer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after I get this coffee, he'll let me sit in his lap.
Why did we consider this a feel-good movie? What the fuck? Drew, this is your edition. Brian, are you crying too?
Yeah.
God damn it.
That was a breakthrough, y'all.
I'm gonna need to watch this again by myself. Like, I feel like I just went through a therapy session for 2 hours. Like, God. I need some time to reflect after this movie. I'm glad I brought my pack of tissues. Drew has the like smirkiest smile on his face too, like, haha, gotcha guys. But that's also so sad. This is not a feel-good movie.
So sad when people get what they want.
But he just... It's like
What's what
we'll
he
talk about
told?
it after. We'll talk about it after. I know, but this is the whole reason why he didn't want to move on, because he's leaving his friend behind.
It's like the scene in Batman when he's at the cafe and he looks over and Michael Caine's there.
I told you I'm gonna need a therapy session after this.
Okie dokie. That was Good Will Hunting. My friends, what did you think?
That was really good.
Yeah,
Um,
so good.
I actually remembered as we were watching it that like I definitely started watching this at some
Yeah.
point. I have this vague memory of like being at my friend's house and we like stayed up late, and for whatever reason this was the movie that we were like, let's watch Good Will Hunting. And it was just a bunch of teenage boys watching Good Will Hunting. And I remember like the opening like scenes and stuff. I was like, oh, this is all familiar. And then nothing after that. And I remember
That's
that
the
I
same
just
for
Same with
me.
Laura.
I just
yeah.
passed
Yeah.
out. I think I fell asleep because then I remember like waking up and seeing like I had like these vague flashes of Ben Affleck holding some dunks, and
Nice.
so I'd like wake up and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, I'm not watching this movie. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
It's a lot to
That's-
unpack, honestly, too.
It really was.
Yeah,
That
that's a heavy movie.
yeah, I
Um,
said during it, I'm like, I don't know why this. I get why it's a feel good movie,
Yeah.
but damn, I was ready for more of.
It took
like
a lot to get there.
Right.
It took a lot
So
to get to the feel good part.
it's not a traditional comedic feel good. It's a dramatic feel good. And
Yeah.
that's what we
We
would
should
hit
have
with
clarified our
that.
feel.
Yeah. I guess I should have but I'm glad I didn't tell you anything
No,
about
that was
in
great.
the
That
front.
was
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really good.
I'm glad you liked it. What was your favorite parts?
Well, I have fucking notes.
Yeah. I liked the I'll let Laura go last because you can just rail through all of them.
Yeah.
There was a lot to really, really like. I really liked I mean, I think all the therapy sessions were my favorite just because of Robin Williams. And I think that like the very first like park bench was like one of my favorites because the movie like shifts your perspective for the first couple of scenes where like you see Will and you're like, oh shit, like he's a smart kid, like he owns that kid at the bar, he's kind of a smart ass, he's this kid from the South and he's really smart, and you're like kind of rooting for him because you're like, oh, it's the underdog and he like solves this problem, and then you realize he's a fucking asshole. and he like is giving it to all of these therapists and he's just kind of being a douche about it, and he's giving it back to this other guy, and then he gives it to Robin Williams, and Robin Williams is the first person who like shuts him up. And it's that park bench scene where he first like, you don't know fucking anything, you're a kid. And that whole dialogue was just like, you don't know what the Sistine Chapel smells like. Such a good like, that was a turning point in the movie for me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I was really nervous when the main professor was like, and you got to see a therapist, and then they both laugh like that's a joke, and it's like, no, he fucking does. And I was real nervous because it's like,
which way is this movie going?
Yeah, exactly. And that moment was like, okay, cool. I know where this is going now, but it was still a really powerful scene. It was really cool.
That bench is in the Boston Public Gardens, and it's now become a bit of a shrine to Robin Williams.
That's really cool.
I can imagine. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. People go there, pay their respects, sit there, get pictures, so it's something. The other funny thing about that is like how you mentioned the therapy scenes. The first draft of this movie was more of a thriller than it was a drama. And it was actually Rob Reiner, director Rob Reiner, and actor director, who told them, cut back on the, on this stuff. Or wait, I think it was, was it Reiner or Terrence Malick? No, yeah, it was Reiner, said, drop all the other stuff and focus on Will and the therapist.
What was the other stuff?
It's pretty wild, and I don't even know all of it, but it was more of a thriller than it was this dramatic thing. So I hope it turns out that Will was like a serial killer because he was so smart, he was evading now. But
well, they dropped the like Unabomber thing in the,
they did. Yeah. Ted Kaczynski. Yeah.
As soon as I said that name, I'm like, whoa, what? It was random.
But so you said the therapy stuff was your favorite stuff in it. And Laura, you said you had some notes on that?
Yeah, well, so I was saying, like, I normally will write down my favorite scene just so I don't forget, so we can talk about it. That was the first one that I wrote down because I'm like, okay, it's everything that Brian said. And then, that scene, you feel bad for Will in a little way, or you can resonate with him of, you're young, you think you know everything, but you don't. And like the people that are older than you are telling you that you don't know everything, but in your young brain you're like, oh no, I know everything about the world. But then as the movie kept going on, I'm like, nope, I like this scene more. I love the scene in the bar when Ben Affleck is telling the story about his uncle. And just the way they recorded it or like shot it with these nonstop like dialogues.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Was incredible. Like you felt like you were in the bar with them.
Yeah.
And they were telling this story, and it just then immediately shot to her telling like this story, this joke, and you just felt like you were there. It was really, really cool. And then I also really liked the scene where he was talking about why he didn't want to get the job with the NSA. And
and he just went on a tangent.
Yeah,
it was so fast, but the camera was like right up in his face.
Yeah, like that was one shot.
Yep.
Crazy. And you like understood why he didn't want to go take these jobs, because he's felt that this was his role in the world to like do these what he considered honorable jobs that still meant something, and he felt like if he went and took this other job, he was like leaving his friends behind.
Yeah. I think it was also like a defense mechanism where it's like he just knows so much that he's giving himself reasons and excuses why he shouldn't do these things. And like, you know, he has this,
he was
like,
afraid to fail.
Yeah, afraid to fail, afraid to move, afraid to leave, afraid to move away from his support system that he had with his friends, because of what, you know, his life was prior, you know?
But I think that's just so relatable, and so like everybody goes through that at some point in their life, or multiple times in their life. And then my last one that I wrote down was when I just keep saying Ben. What was his character's name?
Chucky.
Okay. I just keep saying Ben. When he's like, no, like, I want you to move on. Like, if you stay here, I'm gonna be mad at you. Like, that's sad. Like, you can go do more. And then it was just like everybody needs that friend in their life to kind of like give you that push of like, no, do what you're good at. And we're not gonna be mad if you leave us behind. Yeah.
That's what our friends told us, and look at us, professional podcasters.
You go be a real doof.
That's funny. Yeah.
So good.
I think my favorite parts, I mean, there's so many parts that I pick out, I remember, I laugh at, I get excited about, I think about, you know, how many times have I seen a spoof or a version of somebody solving a problem on the chalkboard, and whether or not they spoof it to the degree where it's like literally a joke gag that they do, or it's really somebody doing something and you know it's Good Will Hunting. I was watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and there's an episode where Dee is at a therapist and everyone's there, but like she's like talking to the therapist, like, and she's like, do you think this is funny? I had cigarettes burned on me, and she's like, are you doing Good Will Hunting right now? Like, and you know, it's that sort of thing where it's resonated. I mentioned to Brian during the movie, like Community did a kind of a spoof on that, because that's literally what the guy who did Community, I can't think of his name right now. Brian, what's the guy who created it? And Dan Harmon, yeah, literally just douses everything he does with pop culture references in there to keep you going, and like you can see it there. It's lived on very well, whether or not you make fun of scenes, whether you're not. Like, my wife and I will randomly look at each other and be like, hey babe, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And then she'll be like, she's like, I know. I'm like, it's not your fault. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie too. Like, I mean, what a hit, man. And it's just so simple.
That was the scene.
That's when I started crying and be like, what the fuck? This is not a feel-good movie.
Yeah. But it's like also the breakthrough moment. So if you look at it, it is the feel-good part, but it's just a tough part to get through. I mean, look at, you even get to see during the hug, you can't see Robin Williams' face, just his eyes, and you can tell he's smiling in that embrace, because he knows he got through to him. And yeah, it's just a wild fucking movie. I gotta say though, I want justice for Skylar. She deserved more, and I hope Will he was
going to see about a girl.
He was going to see, and I hope good luck to whatever happened there, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
but she actually
she can fix him.
It's still questionable.
Well, just a funny thing here is that so one fact I was going to mention is that Gus Van Sant wasn't originally the first choice to direct it. Actually, the offers went out to Mel Gibson to direct, because Mel Gibson had already won Academy Awards as a director at that point. Michael Mann it was offered. Kevin Smith was even asked, because how close he was to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And Smith said, no, thanks. This is definitely not my kind of, I can't make this movie well. But you noticed, I don't know if you noticed, but Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier are executive producers on the movie. They did put up to help get the movie made. But eventually landed with Gus Van Sant. But technically, Kevin Smith did get to direct a fake sequel to the movie. If you've ever seen the movie Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, Jay and Bob end up on a film set in Hollywood trying to get their own movie about them canceled, and they end up on the film set of Good Will Hunting 2, Hunting Season, where Damon, Affleck, and the Apple guy It's recreating the bar scene completely, and Gus Van Sant is literally plays himself as the director, just counting money, and then they're like, Gus, can we get an action? He's like, I'm busy. He's just counting dollars. And then it turns into this violent, jokey bit of a movie. But they do hunting season. They get to actually do a sequel. So yeah, I mean, the movie it's a goddamn good film. It really is. I'm glad that, Laura, you said that you want to even watch it a second time and kind of unpack some of that. I love that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that I was like,
yeah,
damn, this is like a very deep movie.
If Titanic didn't come out the same year, I have a feeling that this may have won Best Picture. I don't know. I don't remember what else was nominated, but I mentioned to you, this had 9 Academy Award nominations. Mm-hmm. It won 2 Oscars. What do you think it won?
Can you say the 9 that it was nominated
I can
for?
Absolutely tell you the 9.
Or if Brian he already had a thought.
I think the score.
Yeah.
Okay. It was nominated for Best Score, Best Song, Best Editing, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actor.
And it won 3?
2 out of those 9. So you said Best Score, and you think one more?
I was gonna say Best Actor.
Okay, so Matt Damon,
supporting actor for
Best Supporting Actor,
Williams.
Robin Williams. Okay,
he would be a supporting actor.
He would have been a supporting actor in that. Yep.
What was
or
the
Ben
third
Affleck?
one you said?
The third thing was Best Editing. So I'll say it again: Best Score, Best Song, Best Editing,
Yeah, Best Editing
Director, Best Supporting Actress for Minnie Driver, Best Actor for Matt Damon, Best Picture, lost to Titanic. I'll just tell you right there.
Yeah.
Best Screenplay, Original Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actor.
Either screenplay or editing.
Yeah, screenplay's good.
Screenplay's good. Yeah, you are right on one of those. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck won Oscars for the screenplay.
Wow.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then Robin Williams won his first and only Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in this film.
Wow. Only
Oscar win for Robin Williams. I know it's a shock because he is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
And he should win for anything he does. By the way, side note, he just Disney for their 100th anniversary has a little short film on Disney Plus, and it's like all of these Disney characters coming out of pictures and things to take a photo in front of the Disney building, and they Genie comes out and they used unused audio of Robin Williams, so it's the last audio performance of Robin Williams as Genie. They didn't use AI to recreate his voice or anything like that. They actually used unused audio,
like the Beatles thing.
The Beatles song that just came out. Yeah. But
crazy.
yeah, so 2 out of 9 Oscars. But yeah, a lot of nominations there.
It's just always like I'm impressed of how long the scenes of dialogue were.
Oh yeah.
But I was never bored. That's
good. Okay.
Impressive for a movie, I think.
Yeah.
To be so involved in what they're talking about that I'm never like, oh, I wish this scene was ending and moving on to the next one. I'm
yeah,
like,
right.
No, I don't want this to end. I want them to keep talking. Yeah.
It's also interesting that the movie takes about 20 to 25 minutes of going in one very different direction.
Didn't
and
Brian
then
say,
has a
oh,
huge
Robin
turn.
Williams is in this movie?
Yes, right. Isn't Robin Williams in this?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, isn't that Robin
Williams?
Williams?
To get there.
Yeah. But like, it's not that you were not entertained. You were like, oh shit, this is going to go a different way. Right. And even I think Laura, someone was like, oh, he's going to be the therapist.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought he was a teacher.
which I mean, technically he was a professor also, but, so this actually started as a playwriting assignment for Matt Damon. He had an assignment to write a little play, a small play, and it turned quickly into a 40-page script that he was writing. And then he brought Affleck on to help him flesh it out into a full movie.
That's so impressive.
As I mentioned, it had some thriller aspects to the film, and it was Rob Reiner who was like, drop that part and focus on Will and the therapist. These are the best part. Also, super indie, weird. I don't want to call him weird, but he just does really strange stuff. Terrence Malick, this director. Trying to think if there's anything you got to look up Terrence Malick. His biggest movie to date is probably called The Tree of Life. It's a mind fuck of a movie with Brad Pitt and Jessica Chastain, Sean Penn.
Oh, I can picture like the.
It's very
cover.
artsy and strange.
Yeah,
Terrence Malick is the one who told them that the movie should end with Will chasing Skylar to California. So again, some really good info on that.
I was actually going to compliment the movie for that, because I think other movies would have ended with him getting there and giving us that resolution. But like,
we don't know.
We don't know,
but that's not the point that matters to the movie, right? Like the thing is that he's taking the leap regardless of whether he will fail or not. And it was like, oh, that's so cool that they're just going to end it there, because the point is that he's doing it, not that it will be successful or not. But any other movie would have given us the resolution and told us like, yeah, he got there and
he got the girl,
and he got the girl, and that
they ran out.
That doesn't fucking matter. Like,
and that kind of is the whole thing that Robin Williams was trying to, and actually that Matt Damon was trying to tell Robin Williams, like, it doesn't matter if you're happy again, just try. Kind of.
And they both grew from each other.
This is why I need to watch it again.
I know.
I need to take notes while I'm watching.
The movie was actually shot in Toronto.
Okay.
Even the MIT like sets, like the interior.
Would it not have been cheaper to just film in Boston?
So that Boston background was fake that I said. And you're like, was it?
However, they did shoot some exterior shots in Boston. However, Harvard has a rule against filming at Harvard. But John Lithgow, a Harvard alum, was able to help bend and twist that rule to allow them to get a few shots there. So some of that is actually Harvard. I'd mentioned before that the scene where Robin Williams starts talking about his wife farting was completely ad-libbed, and that's why Matt Damon is
100%.
Yeah, it's like a natural laugh he's doing.
As soon as he started laughing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is completely not scripted or acting. And
then I have one more interesting fact here, is that Matt Damon actually made it into a very cool Oscar club for this movie. Only 4 people, including Matt Damon, have ever been nominated for acting and writing in the same year. So he is in this club with Charlie Chaplin for The Great Dictator.
Wow.
Orson Welles for Citizen Kane, and Sylvester Stallone for Rocky.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. The 4 of them are in a club for writing and acting being nominated.
Does it have to be the same picture?
Yeah. Wow. Yep.
I don't think a lot of, like, I honestly did not know that Ben and Matt wrote this.
Yeah.
I know like that they've written other movies, but I know that this was kind of how they got their start, but I thought it was just from acting.
They just weren't getting roles. So they said, let's write our own thing. And like, you know, knowing Kevin Smith in like 94, Kevin Smith came on the scene with what is it? Clerks. And then he did Mallrats in 96. Yeah. And that's, he put Ben Affleck in that one as a bad guy. And then Affleck came on strong in 97. I think also Chasing Amy came out early 97. And that was a big role for him. And Damon wasn't in that. He joined in on 98. It came out, was Dogma. Dogma came out in 98.
And maybe I'm just like a few years too young to like have realized all of this. I'm like, I just always knew like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as these, you know, like the actors, kind of things. But I'm like,
100%.
In my mind, they never got enough credit for everything that they were doing.
Yeah. Right. But this like launched their careers. Obviously, like Matt Damon. Sorry, Brian, I know you're about to make a point or say your thing. Just hold that thought for a quick second. Robin Williams introduced Matt Damon to Steven Spielberg to be in Saving Private Ryan. And he had just seen Spielberg. Damon auditioned for that and got a no. He got you can't be this, because Spielberg had seen him in another movie. It was another military movie where he had to lose a shitload of weight, and and Spielberg was like, not my guy. But when Robin Williams introduced him after he'd seen Good Will Hunting, was like, hey, this is Matt Damon. He's just like, oh, you auditioned. Oh my God. He's like, you look like Private Ryan. Like it was like that sort of shit. And Damon fucking flew from there. And Affleck went his own route, and they both became super famous. They didn't really work together a ton after.
One of those just like right place, right time.
Yeah.
Like,
in
like
fact,
random. Yeah.
The last time they wrote a movie together was actually 2 years ago. They wrote a movie that Ridley Scott directed that was forgotten about. It's a phenomenal movie, but during COVID times, no one saw it. It was called The Last Duel with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver, and Jodie Comer was in it. It's a true story about this French knight who his wife accuses somebody of assaulting her, and he fights this other guy in a battle to the death, essentially, over her honor. And if he loses, she's going to be burned at the stake. It is phenomenal. But Damon, I love this about the two of them. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote the movie, but they tell it in, if I'm going to make an obscure reference, they tell it in the storytelling style of a movie called Rashomon, which is a phenomenal Japanese movie. Essentially, an incident happens and it's told from 3 different perspectives, the same incident. So we see very different ways people speak to each other. He was really angry, but when you see the other guy, he was so nice about it. So we see these 3 different perspectives, but when they
Crash.
were sort of like Crash, but when they get to the female's perspective, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were not comfortable writing the female's perspective, and they hired another writer, and she wrote it. And he was like, they said it way better than we ever could. Great movie. I highly recommend if you check it out. It's really cool. Last Duel, but that's the last thing they wrote together as a team.
I was going to ask if they had written anything else, because I forgot that they wrote this together. I knew that at one point, but
So I had
Laura. I don't think about them as writers. I think about them as actors.
I had made the note of Dogma because Dogma is one of my absolute favorite movies, but you can't
find it,
watch it, or buy it anywhere.
There's a reason behind it.
We may have talked about this before. I don't know, but I recently found that you can watch it on YouTube.
Oh,
the whole
cool.
movie,
Nice.
and I watched it recently. Fucking fantastic! Like as good as because I haven't seen it in probably 10 years because you can't watch it anywhere.
If you've never seen Dogma,
Go
worth
on
watching.
YouTube, watch it. It's so good.
Dude, Alan Rickman plays an angel in it, and he's like just so Rickman-y. Chris Rock is the 13th apostle that was written out of the Bible because he was black.
Alanis Morissette.
Alanis Morissette is God.
So when I just saw her in concert like a month ago, they did a whole montage of like her career and everything.
Oh, yeah,
they had like flashes of her in Dogma as God, and I was like getting emotional watching it because I was like, oh my God, like it was just
And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are in that, and they play the antagonists,
so
Bartleby
good.
and Loki, the angels, Bartleby and Loki. It's very good. I have the script to it here because I loved reading Kevin Smith's scripts.
That's one of those, if you ever go to like a thrift store or like if you find a DVD or VHS of Dogma, you better buy it.
Yeah, if you want to ever borrow it, I've got, I have Kevin Smith's basic collection, so I have it here. I love it.
You have it?
I own Dogma, yeah. Do you want me to bring it in on Friday?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
Please.
Yeah.
I watched it on YouTube and it was a shitty ass version of it.
I highly recommend that if you watch it first, but then watch it with the audio director's commentary. It's some of the funniest shit you'll ever listen to. Like he makes the joke about how there's a bus scene, Brian. I'm not going to tell you what happens on the bus, but there's a scene on the bus and Matt and Ben were like, hey, Kevin, can we try ad-libbing a little bit? Can we do a little our way? And they filmed a bunch of this before the Academy Awards happened for Good Will Hunting. So like, I think they had already made Good Will Hunting or they were in the process too, but they were doing it. He's like, yeah, do a fucking take, do a take or two the way you want. And they joke around and he's like, and then he was like, we're putting in my cut. I wrote the words. So we're putting, he goes, you want to fucking make a movie, write your own movie. And then he's like, and then they fucking did and won an Oscar for writing it. like Kevin Smith is an amazing storyteller. I've seen him live a couple times, just telling stories. It's fucking hilarious. So yeah, Laura, I'll bring it in on Friday for you.
Okay. We got so off track, but
but still it's kind of connected. Yeah. Awesome. So let me go back to some of our guesses here. Okay. You did very, very well on a majority, most of this. So we said, where and when does this take place? It was release time around the late 90s in Boston. Who's in the movie? Brian said Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Robin Williams.
Fucking nailed it, dude.
You got that too? Yeah. Laura, you said there were 2 notable females, possibly 3, maybe a bartender.
Accent so good.
I know.
Sorry.
So Matt Damon, Robin Williams, Ben Affleck, Minnie Driver, Stellan Skarsgård, Casey Affleck, Cole Hauser. Those are our main characters in it. What's the movie about? Is it a Cheers crossover? No. Robin Williams is a teacher of math, college math. Ben is a student at Harvard, and he's rich. And Matt is poor, but he does janitorial stuff, and he cleans a room, and he solves a problem with his big Boston brain.
I mean,
who solved this?
You were so right.
The poor janitor kid. And then they get lobster and park the car. Cool. Nice job. How big will the Boston accents be? And
it was fucking
very big. I believe
you swore how big it was.
Yes, it was sizable, as we wrote down here. The question: do you like apples? Brian said yes. Laura said no, but yes, because how do you like them apples is what Laura said. So yes, absolutely yes. How do you like them apples? And that's another thing that's been used in other little things here and there, since the movie came out. Another zinger. Who did the score? Danny Elfman did the score. Great job, Brian. And I also mentioned that Elliott Smith contributed many songs to the soundtrack prior to his suicide. Then who did you think the studio originally wanted to play Will and Chucky?
I forgot about this, yeah.
Marky Mark and Leo DiCaprio. You got one of the 2 right. They wanted Leo. They wanted Brad Pitt also.
Brad Pitt.
And they eventually worked together in
Leo
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah. But, and then the last 2 things, the movie cost $10 million. How much do you think it made globally? Brian was at $215. Laura was at $240. It made $225.
Wow.
Globally,
right in the middle.
which is really decent actually for a movie that size.
Yep. Literally right in the middle. Yeah.
And then of course your Marvel connection, Matt Damon obviously playing that part, Loki in there, and also Stellan Skarsgård also in it as well.
I was confused at what his accent was supposed to be in that movie, because at some point there was no accent, and then other points it was like an Irish accent, and then it went to kind of a British accent.
Stellan Skarsgård, they're Vikings. They're from that Nordic area, so
that makes sense a little bit now.
Yeah, he has that sort of accent. Even
the
Alexander,
part of the movie, there was none, and then it started to come through.
Yeah,
just come in and out sometimes.
Yeah, it popped in. Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård, also another phenomenal actor, and Swedish. I think they're Swedish. I think. Hopefully, I'm not insulting him in any way, shape, or form. But he was in a film that Christopher Nolan actually remade called Insomnia. The original Swedish version he was in, and it's about a murder mystery that happens in this area way up north in Europe, and where the sun only it only sets for like a few hours. It's basically light all the time, and it fucks with him. And then Christopher Nolan made it as his technically his 3rd movie with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. It's called Insomnia. It's a cool movie. But in that movie, they're in Alaska at the time of the year when the sun only is down. It's mostly
dark all
light.
The time?
I think it's light all the time. Maybe it's dark all the time. I don't remember, but it's a good movie. Insomnia is a cool mystery thriller.
And now when it's dark.
Yeah. And Robin Williams is you think maybe the murderer. So it's a weird turn for Williams. He's not the good guy necessarily in the movie. He's looked at as the antagonist. Possibly is, maybe isn't, maybe is. So
what's
worth
that
watching.
Movie where he's
1 Hour Photo. Yeah, it's another fucked up one. Williams is so good. His fucking range is amazing. Anyway, so this is our second Robin Williams movie, right? I think it's our second movie with Williams, and man, did it not disappoint. So we went through all the guesses here. I think it's time to wheel out that doof meter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh. I've got a crunchy yes, crunchy doof
Same
meter.
crunchy? Okay.
Not the same, but same idea.
Similar. Okay.
Yes. So, hello everybody. The doof meter is out. It's our patented doof meter where we rate movies from a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is it's a movie. 5 is holy shit, I should have seen this sooner. I'm a doof. I really should have watched this. So quick one this time instead of that long laid out one.
Drew is talking at like 5 times speed.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. I'm really just really anxious here. So, Brian, you had not seen it. Laura, so you had only seen, both of you have only seen up to a certain moment, basically a certain part.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. I'm happy with that.
Normally I will write down what I think Brian's going to guess, but I think we both know what we're going to put, so I don't know that we need to do that.
All right, I'm ready. Who wants to start? You want to go, Laura, or do you want Brian to go?
I'll go
Laura should
Brian
go.
first. Oh,
Okay.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 5, 100%. What are you holding?
Me? Oh, it's just an infinity gauntlet that I have on my desk. It's a magnet. It like
I
floats
didn't
and
see
it
what
like
you
spins
picked up,
around.
and it looked like another microphone. I'm like, he's holding dual microphones right now.
Yep.
Just a little.
No, it's definitely a 5. For all the reasons that we already talked about. As we were watching it multiple times, I got mad at myself that I hadn't seen this movie already, because it's definitely one that I want to watch again. I know that I'll watch again. Yeah, everybody should watch this movie.
Love it.
That's all
Great
I got.
endorsement.
Great endorsement.
You heard it first, y'all. Laura said go. Brian.
It's a 1 for me.
I knew immediately you were going to do that.
I know.
I was
it's
expecting
not a surprise anymore.
I'm
I
just
know.
kidding. It's obviously a 5. This is
Sweet.
like such a
Awesome.
good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like even from the pure like, should I have seen this movie earlier? Like, absolutely yes. Like, it's just a good film. There's no like fat in it. Like, there's so many movies that I watch nowadays that are I'm just like, this scene doesn't need to be here. This like added no value to the movie, and it's just one of those films where like every scene has a purpose.
Yeah.
At like laying out the story and the groundwork and the plot. And even like I was saying before, like it didn't need to show us the ending scene, so it didn't. It just he's in a car, you know what he's doing, and that's enough. That
Love it.
completes that story for him, and that's, I don't know, it's cool to see such good storytelling, such good actors, and then like you said, like this plot line, like I knew a lot about it from only seeing like a little bit as I fell asleep one time, probably 16 years ago, and I've seen it in Community. I've seen all of those references. That like janitor solves the math problem is probably like the biggest like reference that I've seen in like most things. Like the unexpected person being super, super smart is the, it all, that all comes from this. And then there's so many other like small moments that I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's where this is from. So it's a 5.
I like how you said that did you say there's no fat in this movie? Is that what you said?
There's no fat.
No, but I really like that you said that, because there are a lot of movies that we watch where I can kind of be like, okay, like
10 minutes shorter.
Like
cut
this
this out.
I did not feel that in any point of this movie.
No.
And I feel like the more that I watch movies, the more I watch TV, anything nowadays, my attention span is way shorter.
Yeah.
And for this movie to be out in the 90s and still like hold my attention for every minute means a lot, I think. Yeah.
And to be, like you said, like all dialogue. Like there's no
Yeah, exactly.
Except
there
for
was
like
no
the
action,
one fight scene.
There was nothing other than dialogue, and extremely captivating.
Yeah.
And even the sets are like mostly pretty boring sets. Like
you're in an office,
a shitty office, a shitty bar. Like that's
and I said multiple times that I want to hang out with these guys. Like it just felt so real. And that probably is a good point to like, these two kids from Boston wrote this script, and it was probably based a lot on what their everyday life was like, and you just really felt connected to them, and like this is what it probably really would be like if you were in this situation. Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. That makes me happy, y'all, because this one, I love sharing movies with y'all, and I was very happy that this like won at the last second, because this is just a really special one for me. So I was really happy that this.
I'm imagining the conversations we'd be having if we watched Legally Blonde. Would
No,
not be this in like,
yeah,
not
but
be having a
maybe-
therapy session.
Right, but I'm sure it's a really great and enjoyable movie, and I'm sure it's on our list to watch because it has a pop culture influence. Which, by the way, did you all watch the Brian? Did you add? You added Ghostbusters, but did you add the Mean Girls musical movie
No, I didn't see
trailer?
that.
Looks
Ooh,
fucking
we should
awesome.
all go watch that. Yeah.
You should check it out. It looks great. But just to say, it's definitely a very different movie, and we would 100% be having a different conversation.
I'm very glad we watched this.
Yeah, I'm really happy too. So yeah, that's great. We can move that doof meter back out and put it away there. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Crunchy Doof Meter. You were amazing. All right. So, we've been going with our 6 degrees. Let's see if I can keep my streak going. And now that you've pre-prepped, I need to at least get my my stopwatch out before we go here. All right.
I have pre-prepped. I don't know if I like the sound of that, but I have pre-prepped.
Okay. You have just prepared. How about that? You've just prepped. You've prepared. Okay. So, Laura, who do you have?
I'm going with Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Okay. Fuck. All right. Cool.
I have Owen Wilson.
Pedro Pascal to Owen fucking Wilson. All right. I'm going to hit that start button here now.
Wow.
Pedro to Owen Wilson. Wow. Oh, wow. All right.
How we all had to do the.
Yep. All right. Pedro Owen Wilson. I'm going to try not to say the names over and over and over in the microphone like normal.
We've made him so self-conscious about this now.
It was so. I was just listening to Drew, just drown us out when we're talking while you're thinking. But whatever episode came out last, I was just listening, and it was just Drew going fuck, and then like the name of the person, and then going fuck, shit, balls.
Stop. Okay, hold on. This is tough. It's a really good one.
There's gotta be a Nick Cage connection in there somewhere.
There probably is, and I know the connection, but there's the name of a movie that is stumping me, and that's my major issue right now is if I can literally in the next I have like 20 seconds left. What the fuck is the name of this movie?
I love how I always try to do it in my head and I never come close.
Oh, I didn't even try. I know I can't do this.
Really?
Okay, wait, no, stop. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Oh, I am
just like shut the fuck up.
I'm 1 second over, but I got it before I could hit the stop. Okay.
We'll give it to you.
We were pretty distracting this round.
We were very distracted.
Pedro Pascal was in Kingsman 2 with, this depends on this, Channing Tatum, right? Was Channing Tatum in Kingsman 2? Brian, you've seen it. I haven't.
Oh, Kingsman 2.
What's Kingsman 2?
The Kingsman?
Channing Tatum was in it. He played He played Tequila.
Okay. So, Pedro to Channing Tatum in Kingsman 2. Channing Tatum to Vince Vaughn, and this was I really hope this is the right name of the movie. I believe it's called The Dilemma. Is Channing Tatum in a movie called The Dilemma?
I don't know that he's in that.
I thought he was the one that was the cheater, or the one that they were like, he was the surprise person in that movie.
Yeah, he plays Zip.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
I was going the Vince Vaughn route too. Okay.
So Vince Vaughn, I honestly can't think. Vince Vaughn has been in something, I think, with Owen
Wilson.
What about?
Come on.
I mean, weren't they in Anchorman? Were they in Anchorman?
Drew.
Did we? Not Old School. That's Luke Wilson.
You should know this.
I should know this.
You're gonna be so
no.
So mad because this is the route that I was going, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Wedding Crashers.
Yes, there we go.
Okay. So, by the way, I was gonna go an extra. I was gonna go Vince Vaughn to Old School with Luke Wilson to with Bottle Rocket. But so we got there in 3. But I would have been one extra, but
I was
had
trying to connect to Vince Vaughn, but I couldn't. So that's yes here.
I got scared with that movie, The Dilemma. That was the one where I was like, "There's a
No, that's
fucking
a
movie,"
good-
and I'm pretty sure that Rob, like, did fucking Ron Howard direct that movie too? Like, like, I feel like someone
I'm
famous.
not familiar with this movie.
It's a very not good movie.
No,
I'm looking at the cover of it, and it doesn't look good.
It's not good.
I was gonna
But-
be mad if you couldn't remember wedding.
It's
I-
Kevin James and Vince Vaughn.
Yes. And it's like he thinks his wife is having an affair or something like that, or she is, and you find out that it's like with Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum did this thing in like the early 2000s where he just popped up as like, or even throughout, he pops up as like cameos in movies. He was in, he had a
by fucking Ron Howard.
That's what I said. Okay, I was right. He was in this movie, right? He popped up in Public Enemy, right? The that's the one with is it the one Johnny Depp plays John Dillinger, I think?
Oh, God,
and like he's a random guy who gets killed in that. He's in Tarantino's Hateful Eight.
He's a
like,
great comedic actor. Like
he's
I like
a
him
very
more
good actor.
in comedic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when he's on SNL, I think he's so funny.
However, I do love him in Magic Mike. I do. I love Magic Mike 1 and 2.
There's something about him like that and Save the Last Dance. It's just so awkward. He seems like
Laura,
he's just there.
I have
to
another
look
movie.
good, and you're like, I don't know.
I have another movie that I want you to watch. I'm gonna give it to you with Dogma. It's called 10 Years. It's a 10-year anniversary, high school anniversary.
That's on,
have you seen it?
No, but I haven't seen it, but it's on a thing.
It's on a thing?
Hulu, maybe? I don't know. Is it good?
Love it.
Okay.
Oscar Isaac, Chris Pratt, like I said, Channing Tatum. It's just a bunch of these guys who are friends made this movie.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
Oh, and then the movie that I was thinking about the whole time with Casey and Ben Affleck is Tower Heist. Have you seen that? There's a bunch.
Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck are in Tower Heist?
Or maybe
Is it a funny movie? Tower Heist?
now
Yeah,
I'm questioning
it's like
myself.
Casey
Nope.
Affleck's
You know what?
in it.
No. Nope. That's not the one that I'm thinking of. I take that back completely. I cannot find the movie that I'm thinking of. We'll circle back.
Okay. All right.
Tower
There's a
Heist is like
movie-
a funny Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm thinking
like
of.
with Ben
But
Stiller
Ocean
and Eddie Murphy.
11's is funny.
There's
Yeah, so like a
one
less funny
where-
Ocean's 11.
There's like Ben Affleck, and it's a bunch of like famous people, and they're trying to like rob a hotel.
Sounds like Tower Heist.
Yeah, but it's not it, I
Or
don't think.
Ocean's
Oh.
11.
Somebody write it and tell us.
There
Tell me
you
what a
go.
movie I'm thinking of.
It was
Awesome.
Deep Water.
Yeah. Deep Water. No, it's not. Awesome. Well, that was a really good episode,
We've gone
y'all.
off the rails a bunch of times.
We did, yeah. We're
the-
like 40 something minutes on our closing here. Brian's gonna trim this shit down. But no, this was awesome. It was a great episode. I'm really happy that we had a chance to talk and share this movie. So I'm stoked for it. And yeah, that's awesome. I'm ready. Brian, what do we do from here?
I thought Brian was going to say, if you want to be stoked.
I'm gonna be stoked. If you like them apples, you can follow us on social media at Real Doofs, REEL DOOFS. We're on Threads now, and we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram, and we're on
Yep.
TikTok, and you can see all of our posts. We're posting polls on stuff. I don't know what else we're gonna poll about in the next like 2 months, but we've got like Christmas coming up. We always do like a Christmas movie. You don't want to miss that. So if you follow us on social media, we'll tell you when stuff is coming out so you don't miss it. Another way you can not miss it is just hit the subscribe button. And that way it shows up in your podcast feed, and you get to hear us as quickly as possible, which is what everyone wants all of the time. And we've got a perfect rating on all of our podcast apps. I don't know if you guys know that. We're at 5 stars.
Thank you for that one person.
So thank you for that. There's a few.
It's like
reviews.
18.
So here's the challenge: if you like us, keep that going and give us more because we like it. And if you
don't,
fucking hated
please
this,
don't.
Yeah.
I fucking dare you. Fucking dare you to touch it. Do it.
You're going to see
Amazing.
how you like these apples.
Love it. Love it. Well, thanks, my friends. That was great. And I got to go see about a girl.